Hey guys, welcome back to Top 5. We are live in my apartment, as you can see. Yes, Casey and I are very cozy today. I'm in my onesie.
I'm in my straight out of cookies shirt.
Yes, fashion.
Target, you know, high level fashion on this end of the table. What is this, couch?
Yes.
Strong.
So today, I don't know if you guys have followed us on Instagram. If you don't, you should. So we'll throw it, somewhere up here. But we've been talking a lot about student athlete mental health in light of lots of different situations that have been going on recently, as well as Michael Phelps just came out and talked about how depressed he was after winning his first gold medal. And a lot of people were really shocked by that. So we wanted to kind of open up this discussion and this topic of student athlete mental health and kind of like what it is, what it means, and why it's like a prevalent issue. So Casey, why don't you introduce yourself first, and then we'll get into it.
Hi, I'm Casey. I'm a senior here at UCLA. I'm on the rowing team, and most relevantly, I am one of the presidents of SAMS, which stands for Student Athlete Mentors. It's a student athlete organization that combines with the athletic department and CAPS, and like broadly, it's like to help make a more positive environment for student athletes. We specifically look out for like mental health and stuff.
So let's talk about student athlete mental health. So I just read an article, actually, that said 1 in 4 collegiate athletes are subject to symptoms of depression and anxiety. So what do you think about that? How prevalent do you think that is here at UCLA, and then just in general with like your knowledge? Because Casey's very knowledgeable about this subject.
Well, there are actually not a lot of studies on it, so it's hard to find specific concrete, like depression is this amount and this amount in women and men, like for specifically student athlete oriented things. But in my experience, like I mentioned, perfectionism is a problem because, well, one, it was good when you were in high school and you were amazing at your sport and it helped you get to this high level, but now you like are stuck in this cycle of you never feel like good enough or confident because you're always trying to reach that like next step, and it's never good enough. And so then you kind of get stressed and anxious, and you're at this huge school and you don't really know who to talk to or who to go to, and so you get kind of caught in this cycle, and it results in like anxiety like attacks and different like mental breakdowns, like you just cry at practice, you don't really know why. That part. And so it just becomes overwhelming sometimes, and it's just due to the just basic structure of being a student athlete.
So for us, it's really easy when we're having conversations to kind of contextualize like what it means to like strive for perfection and what it means to like really put your worth in your performance, as opposed to your like worth is your humanity and your worth in your character. So let's kind of delve into like what it really means to be a student athlete and what it is about being a student athlete that can kind of make you more susceptible to these things.
Well, we are first students, so we already have to go to class. We all want to get A's. We all want to do great. We want to talk to the teacher. We all want to join clubs. We want to, prepare ourselves for the next step in life, just like every other student. But in addition to that, we have these other goals and these external pressures from our coaches and other teammates. And oftentimes, at least in rowing specifically, that's what I can attest to the most, rowing, is the team comes before the individual. Because the team reaches the NCAA goal. The team reaches like getting a title, and like, yeah, if I have a bad day, I'm not gonna burden my teammate and bring her down because I had a bad day. So I'm just gonna sit here with all these extra thoughts and just kind of fall apart sometimes if you can't deal with it.
So that's something that actually I've like experienced for sure. So something that's really common amongst the student athlete like community is this idea that you have to be very strong. So like signs of weakness are signs of like, you're becoming a loser, or signs of weakness like that is taking away from your performance and it's taking away from your ability to do kind of what you're supposed to do. Or for me, it's on the track. So it takes away from what I'm supposed to do on the track. So, there was a time when a lot of my teammates and I were struggling, and we were all struggling, so we thought that it was like really normal. So you sit on like in a different position where you're supposed to be able to like recognize these symptoms and recognize these different things. So what do you say to like the casual teammate that realizes that like they feel a little off, they see that like their teammates feel a little off, but like they just think it's normal?
There's just like this general perception of strength and always having to be 100%. And it's okay to not be 100% sometimes, and you don't have to be like having panic attacks and like throwing up from stress to like reach out for help. If you just had a bad day because your piece didn't go well, you didn't hit your time or mark or whatever your gauge of how good you are in your
sport. A piece is a rowing term.
A rowing term, yeah. it's okay to just like lean over to your friend. It doesn't even have to be like someone of authority, just like your friend before you go to bed and you're like, you know what, today was just like not that good of a day. And something that like Michaela and I do. Michaela's off screen.
Michaela's off screen. Come here.
Sorry.
I was not ready for that.
This is Michaela. So she's our other roommate. I don't even know if you're in the, I don't know. Bring it in, Michaela. Bring it in. No, we're cozy now. Now it's a sandwich, and we're all here together.
So, she's also a SAMS member.
And also on the road team.
So we kind of work on like trying to have like a positive outlook, and one of our like tricks is we have to end whatever conversation we're having positively. So like I can sit there and be like, okay, so today coach yelled at me and I just couldn't get whatever she was telling me down, and I got a B on a test that I should have gotten an A, but I didn't study for it because I was so tired last night, and like I'm just so mad at this one girl because she was crazy and but then you put a period on it, you're like, you put that in one thought and you just kind of put it to the side and you go, Jasmine brought me a cookie today, it was awesome. Michaela, you got so much better, that was great. I'm about to watch the season finale of my favorite Netflix show. Like, things are happening in life that are good. I did get that homework done. I did like meet a new friend. Whatever is good, there's always something good. You just have to shift your mentality to like realize that those things exist as well. And so it's like kind of a little coping mechanism like we do. So even if like it feels like you're kind of falling, that there's like something that can lift you back up.
I agree. Yeah. Thank you for joining us. So yes, we're talking about student athlete identity and how you adjust your identity when it's forced to change, because you know a common misconception about student athletes is that we all go pro. And let me tell you,
I will invent the rowing professional league and go pro.
So there are 600, 700 athletes here at UCLA, and let me tell you, maybe 10, 15 of them, if they're lucky, are going to make it in whatever professional league. And if it's not football and basketball, they're going professional and probably not making much money to support themselves. So there's a truth for you today.
It's hard. It's rough for me to admit.
So what do you do when you lose that sense of identity?
I mean, it's always hard. There's really no good answer to this. So sorry, I can't give you a good answer to this. But you have to just kind of figure out who you are outside of your sport, if that's possible. Like, I know on our team, we use terms like put a period on it or stay centered. And a big part of that is not allowing what happens in your day-to-day, specifically within your sport day-to-day, like affect your mentality throughout the day, throughout your life, and throughout the week. So just like kind of compartmentalizing, this is Casey the rower, this is how Casey the rower did today, but now Casey the student is gonna go to class and get an A, of course. and now Casey the friend is gonna do this. And like, you just gotta find that like other part of you, because there's more to each individual than just their sport. Even if I wear my outfit every day that says rowing on it, and I'm identified, and people know from afar that I am an athlete because I'm 1.5 feet taller than the rest of the population. But there is more to each student athlete that like meets the eye, and figuring out what that is within you. And I promise everyone is strong enough to find something outside their sport to beat themselves.
I agree. So you have a lot of events in SAMS, so why don't you tell us a little bit about them?
Yes, so a big part of SAMS, well, it's kind of like a twofold organization. So one is like just being your friend on the team and like kind of having an awareness of when like somebody's sad or kind of out of it, and just being that person that's like, hey, you good? What's going on? You want to talk? Is anything happening like outside of your sport? Like, how are you doing as a person? And then the other side of it is kind of like more knowledge spreading oriented. And so we have these like very large events, one of which is like our drunk driving awareness event, which we held outside of like a basketball game. So like all students can come and like get Diddy's cookies, I know, classic, and like answer these like trivia events. And what is really fun that we do is we have drunk goggles, and so you can like try to shoot a basket with like drunk goggles, and people get it, but it's very hard because you think it's here and like the basket's like over here. So people like line up to take the shot, and they're like, okay, here we go, and you're like, it's not gonna work. So that's fun. It's kind of cool because a lot of students are just like in line waiting, so they have nothing else to do. So they just kind of hang out with us and like hopefully learn something about like drunk driving and like different ways to kind of combat it and why it's bad and like all that stuff. As well as our wellness event is more like a stress coping based. So it's kind of, you have like we give out snacks and things.
And puppies.
And puppies. Puppies is our big draw. That's really what we use to kind of reel them in. And then we also are like, before you touch that puppy, have you ever thought about who you're gonna be after college? And you kind of like, we're gonna use like, you know, spoiler, we're gonna have like a video to kind of prompt some questions and kind of get people thinking about that stuff, and then they get to pet the puppies and eat the snaps.
That's an ideal situation.
It's during finals week too, so ideally it's kind of like an oasis away from studying for like 30 minutes or something.
That's fair. Okay, so moral of the story is you guys don't have to go through your things alone.
Yay.
There's people, especially at UCLA, like Casey and Sam's and Caps and just lots of nice people here that you can talk to. We'll like link all those people.
Yes. And follow Sam's at UCLA_Sam's. It's SAMS, no tricks. UCLA_Sam's.
You heard her. So, Casey, now it's time to end with our favorite here at Top 5.
I get so nervous. Okay, you do this. Okay, yeah, I blink out. So this is gonna be very like, I'm not good with like, at the go for it.
Okay, so Casey really likes coffee. Right?
Okay, yes.
Casey loves coffee. She has an espresso machine over there. Maybe we'll show you a little bit.
That's number one.
With the espresso. So, Casey, give me your top 5 coffee combinations that you enjoy.
Like, what kind of lattes I like?
Latte, coffee, espresso. She has lavender syrup over there. I know that's
I do. I'm gonna give you coffee shops.
Coffee shop.
And I can give you my order at the coffee shop.
Yes, that's fair.
Oh gosh, okay. I would say right now my favorite coffee shop is Better Buzz. I took all my friends to it.
Is that the one that's like, it's better when you're buzzed?
Life's Better Buzz. You were close.
I don't drink coffee. It's okay.
And then my second, but that's only in like San Diego, really. There's only a couple, like they're not in LA. And then another classic I go to all the time is Phil's. I get the mint mojito because I'm boring. But I branched out a little bit, but like I'm boring. I get the mint mojito. And then like Profeta is really close. That's my one in Westwood that I go to when I want like yummy, like someone that like knows. Okay, I'm saying something. So if you're someone that like actually appreciates the flavor of coffee, like coffee itself, not just like pumpkin spice latte from Starbucks, like the sugar, it has really high quality like actually coffee beans and stuff, and that's really good. I would say the same thing about Alfred's, which is LA. Alfred's Coffee and Tea Room, I believe it is. Yeah, coffee first. Yeah. But first coffee, that's the line. Yes, there it is. Thank you. See, I called a friend. Yay. Assist. I win.
Great, so she threw the lob. She threw the lob.
But I caught it. I'm not a ball sport.
I definitely don't think that's how you pitch a basketball.
Caught it. But first coffee, Alfred's. I think I'm putting 4, and then.
Give us your basic one from Starbucks, Casey.
I feel like I have, okay, that's true. I should give a shout out to Starbucks because they started it me. You know, without them, I wouldn't be here right now. I originally got the caramel macchiato when I was young, and I wanted to get a coffee drink to be cool like my parents. And then I found the pumpkin spice latte, and that just got me on the cycle. And I'm sorry that I'm white, and that's so true. I fulfill the stereotype. I am the coffee stereotype. So number 5 out of obligation will be the pumpkin spice latte with Starbucks.
That's fair. That's fair.
Did I do it?
You did it. Good job. Yay! Alright guys, thank you so much for joining us this week on Top 5. We will be back to you soon. Yeah, Top 5. Yeah, you know, copyright Drake. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, follow Casey on Instagram, follow Sam's on Instagram.
Most importantly, Sam's though.
Most importantly, Sam's. And yeah, we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Thanks for having me.